Hey everyone, welcome back to Mike's Monsters. We are here with Sleepy Rigby. He has had a really rough day reading all the San Diego Comic-Con updates from the Alien Romulus panel that we both were not able to attend. I was supposed to go to SDCC, but I slept on getting my passes and I just couldn't make it. But I was able to keep up with all of the updates via Twitter. People were just live tweeting the entire panel, and I wanted to cover some of what went down today on that exciting panel. It looked like it was a blast and a lot of fun. If you're concerned about spoilers, I would not recommend watching this video because there will be some discussion about what happens in the movie, and that goes for the upcoming NECA figures as well. I want to mention that NECA dropped a surprise pre-order for the Alien Romulus figures that you can get right now in the NECA store. You want to get them before they sell out because I believe they are going to be the first to ship them out, and then it will be coming to stores later on after they ship them out. So if you want the figure first, it's coming from NECA, from the NECA store. I'll put the links in the description below. I paid about $87 for the bundle between the two of the figures, which was the Scorched Xenomorph and then the accessory pack, which I talked about in a previous video. How I think the spoilers for that are not as huge as many people are claiming, because I have seen the movie twice. If you haven't seen my previous videos on the channel, I got to help out with the marketing a little bit for Alien Romulus, and I got to see the movie last year and a second time earlier this year. I'm excited for everyone to see it, but I'm not going to tell you what I think about the movie. I'm not going to tell you my review or any of that until I see the full final cut, which I saw a rough cut back when I saw it with very early CGI, not finished CGI, puppets having wires and rods hanging out of their arms and such like that. But anyways, let's get to the details here. Pick up that NECA figure if you want to pre-order it now. You're not going to want to miss out on that. I cannot wait to do some toy photos of it, and I will definitely drop a review for those figures once I have it in my hand. It says shipping in Q4, which could be anytime between September and December 31st, and I'm hoping it's leaning more towards the September date than the December 31st, but Q4 could really mean anything. So let's talk about the panel and what went down at this Alien Romulus sneak peek, essentially, is what everybody got at Hall H in San Diego Comic-Con. Fede Alvarez was joined by the cast featuring Kaylee Spaney, Spike Fern, Isabella Merced, Archie Renault, with David Johnson as well. No one seemed to be able to live stream the panel, so I'm just going to be sharing little clips here and there that I've found via Twitter. Fede and the cast talked about how surreal it was being on the set with Xenomorphs and how it's fun to be such an... He's having a rough night. How it's been so fun to be part of such an iconic franchise and how there was a lot of pressure to deliver correctly for this film. And I think they deliver quite a bit.
I think we all understood the pressure that's behind it, but it's easier to not think about it when you're trying to really involve yourself into this storyline, for sure.
Well, you know, we also, Isabella's absolutely right, we try to dissociate ourselves from that pressure. It's just not helpful for anyone. We want to make a good movie, and Fede is master storyteller. Like, we couldn't be in better hands. But also, we thought about what it was like when Alien 1 came out. You know, no one knew them. No one knew the cast. They were just making the movie, and we had every facility in place for us to do the same. So the second you start to come off of trying to make something that was attached to something else and just make something good, hopefully great, then you're in a happy place.
I think you honor the audience when you really care. That's when you honor them. When you don't care and you're like, oh, whatever, it's just a movie, which was forbidden to say in our set. It's just a movie. No one never said that on a set. I hear that, I'll drive you nuts. So I think that's what we owe the audience, and you want to make sure you give them that experience that they look for. For me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure for you as well. When you sit down in the theater, the logo shows up, the lights go down. For me, I feel like this is it. This is the one that's going to change my life. This is the one. And it's kind of crazy because most movies are shit. You know, 5 minutes in, you go like, this is not going to change my life. But the first 5 seconds, you do feel that way because that did happen to you in the past. That happened maybe once or twice in your life, and we all keep looking for that moment when lights go down, the movie going to start, and you really believe that this is it, this is the one. So we all know that, and I make sure that if we didn't, we all knew that, and it was very important for us to honor that, to make sure everybody worked hard enough and really give it 200%, and I can guarantee all these kids did that. They went above and beyond to give the movie that you guys deserve.
One big thing that was brought up is that Fede said that it has a full story and member berries are not a full meal. So if that gives you any indication on what will actually happen in the movie, if it's going to be nothing but homages and callbacks, you can Rigby's out. You can bring those down a little bit. While there are callbacks and homages and stuff, it's just not as much as many people think. Of course, the line that has been said over and over again is that there has been as much practical effects as possible to bring this movie to life. That doesn't mean there is no CGI. There is quite a lot of CGI in this movie, especially some enhancements for some puppets and stuff like that. There is not anything AI-generated voices or anything like that. I can promise that. There is voice actors and other things going on, but there is no AI-generated things happening in this movie. I can confirm that from someone who knows people who worked on this movie. There has been a lot of miscommunication on how some things were brought to life in this movie, and people keep saying AI generated, and that is not the case here. There is CGI enhancements with a lot of the puppetry, though. David Johnson said it was a challenge stepping into the shoes of a synthetic, and Fede corrected him saying artificial person. Fede gave me a chance to wipe it clean and make my own, David says. Another thing that's important is that Fede said the audiences don't need to see any of the other Alien movies to understand Alien Romulus. This is a movie, though, that will definitely help if you've seen the previous films, but you don't have to have the whole franchise memorized or completely familiar with it. But it is something that the fans will definitely eat up with all the tiny little details that are in the film. There was a scene that was shown at the beginning of the panel, and it's described as facehuggers attacking the crew. I don't know if it's the scene where the facehuggers are chasing the crew, but they have released a clip on IGN of the facehuggers being birthed out of their printing pods, is what I'll call them. And it's the scene in the red room with them swimming in the water. And I will play that for you right now.
The f*** was that? Yo, something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the water?
I don't know, there's just something in the fucking water.
That's a fun scene, but there is a lot more to what happens right after the scene ends there. It gets pretty intense after a little bit. I can already hear the crowd cheering at one specific moment in that scene that I cannot wait to experience in a theater. Fede Alvarez also mentioned that they shot Alien Romulus chronologically, which is not something most movies do. So when a character died, they ended up leaving the set and it was their goodbye from them. So that's something just very different and cool. I have a feeling that added a more organic feel to the production, and it made the cast and crew connect even more. So when someone died, it probably hurt to say goodbye to some of the cast. Something fun and unexpected at the panel, though, was that a few people called in and asked some questions, the first being Ridley Scott. And I'll play that question for you here.
Fede, what new thematic elements are you planning to explore in Alien Romulus?
Well, like the title, thank you, Ridley. For those who doesn't know, that's Ridley Scott who directed the first movie for the young ones. True story, before I answer Ridley, when I was meeting actors that are young, one actor once told me, I asked him, have you seen the original movies? He was like, oh yeah, I just saw the first two. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, Prometheus and Covenant. Oh. I was like, okay, you're not getting the role, bro. Anyway, so to answer Ridley's question, I think, it's called Romulus because it's really a story about siblinghood, and it's one of the things that I felt wasn't explored in the previous movies was real human connections among all the characters. You find some connections here. There obviously Ripley and you part two, but they're very light, and this is the first time that you have really, really close people that really love each other. So when shit like this happen, it makes everything way more dramatic. So that was and it's really truly about what it means to be someone's sibling. Would you die for your brother? Would you die for your sister?
Along with Ridley, someone else called in, and his name is Guillermo del Toro, and we'll play his question here as well.
Hi, this is Guillermo, and I wanted to ask Federico, I know you love monsters as much as I do, and the Xenomorph is one of the great designs in the history of filmmaking, and I wanted to ask you and for you to tell the good fellows at Comic-Con, what does it feel to take such an iconic design and bring it to life again?
So cute. I just want to tell you guys, Fede was like, I don't want to know who sent in questions. I want to be surprised on the panel. So he's hearing and seeing all of these questions. Everybody up here is for the first time, which I love.
How did it feel? Feel fucking amazing. I mean, but a massive responsibility, but such a fascinating challenge.
Something Fede also said was that the kids in this film, they're younger adults, so they're not children, but they went above and beyond to make the movie that you guys deserve. So they really took love and care for this franchise and tried to make the best movie possible. And I think they delivered that pretty well. And last but not least, Dan Trachtenberg, the director of the Predator film Prey and the new upcoming entry Badlands, which is filming right now, called in as well and asked, who would win, an alien or a predator?
Also known as a Yautja or Xenomorph.
I'm going to have you guys all weigh in on this one. Who would win in a fight? Predator or a Xenomorph?
There's been movies made about that.
No? Anybody? I mean, I feel like you all feel like alien.
Yeah, well, because
The alien,
we've got up close and personal with the Xenomorphs, and they're pretty full on. So I'd have to back my boy.
Yeah.
Or alien. I'm gonna back my alien and go Xenomorph.
What about you, Spike?
Yeah, I'm a black alien. Yeah, I think just being up close and personal with an alien. I've never been close to a predator before. I wouldn't like it, but
That's good.
Something really fun that happened, though, is the panel was interrupted all of a sudden by an animatronic face hugger that was crawling around the stage. And I'll play that video here so you can see it. And along with that, a chestburster moment happened as well. They set the scene in the panel with low red lighting and a bunch of fog to set the mood and get everybody really hyped up and in the zone for this Alien Romulus panel. Something really cool that happened that I'm really feeling the FOMO for is that everybody was given life-size facehugger masks with little holes in the eyes area so you can see. That's such a cool piece of memorabilia for this film, and I really hope that I have a way to get one of those that I'm not going to have to spend a whole bunch of money for on eBay. But also along with that, everybody in attendance to this panel was given a free pass for the IMAX screenings of this film later on down the road. They didn't screen the movie at San Diego Comic-Con. They just gave out passes for people to use in the future. Along with that facehugger scene with all of them in the water and such, they showed Aileen Woon's chest bursting scene where she has that unfortunate moment where she starts x-raying herself and you see the chest burster start to burst out. That clip is not online at the moment from what I can tell. Something that Fede said that his number one movie in the franchise is Alien, but Alien vs. Predator Requiem and everything else in between can be whatever you want it to be. So that means he doesn't really have a perfect ranking for the rest of the film. So he does say Alien and Aliens are both up there. That's an interesting comment. I know not everybody loves Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I have a very good friend named Ridgetop who works with AVP Galaxy who absolutely loves AVPR. There are fans out there for those movies, even though I might not agree with them.
Who's going first?
Is this a collective?
What are you not going to vote?
No, you can team effort it if you need to.
Let's put it this way. Can we do the best and the not as good? Can we do that? Okay. So I think we can all say it together out loud for every fan. It's like, the best one is the first one, right?
Yes.
That's the And I think the not as good one will be AVP Requiem. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's some really good kills in that movie, by the way. There's some really good kills in that movie. But Let's say that. Then everything in the middle is like whatever you want to be. Like that's the beauty of this franchise, I think. It is not an obvious top to bottom ranking of it. Everybody, it's almost define who you are if you're a fan. Like what's your rank, it defines who you are. But I think, and all of them, even the ones that didn't work so well for me, all of them give me a great time in the theater. And an even greater fucking debate with my friends at the end of the next day about how shitty that was, or how great that was, and no one seems to agree. Even in the ones that people agree that didn't work so well, still suddenly making this movie, people come out of the woodwork say like, actually this one was actually one of the best ones, and I was surprised, and that's how it works in this franchise. It's so complex and so rich, and there hasn't been terrible ones, I think, particularly on the main ones. It just hasn't. So I think there's never a bad time in the theater watching this. And again, if you're a real cinephile, it's so much fun the next day to go at it with your buddies. But was it good? I don't think so. Yes, it was. No, it was shit. And that part with the flute and whatever, you can go. But it just. You do the blowing, I'll do the fingering. It's one of my favorites.
We won't put the rest of you guys on the spot up here, but we're definitely going to offline get that full list for you later.
And at the very end of the panel, they showed one more scene, and I believe, and I could be wrong though, they haven't found an exact proper description yet, but there was a scene involving a full-grown xenomorph. It might be the birthing scene that we see the xenomorph come out of the cocoon, but again, it could be a completely different scene. There was not a lot of context to the descriptions that I've been able to find. I don't know if they played a scene or just showed a couple of images or anything like that, but there's a few people saying that the final tease revealed an enormous and terrifying xenomorph, and the Scorched xenomorph is very big and beefy in this new movie. I can confirm that. He is a big boy, and it's going to take a lot to take him down, we'll put it that way. He towers over the cast and crew. Just big and just monstrous, which is just so cool to see on camera. I'm not going to give you everything that every single cast member in Fede said. There's quite a lot. It was about an hour-long panel, and unfortunately, the whole thing wasn't shared online. So I'm just going to go off of little bits here and there that I was able to find from Twitter and other things. But this was the quick little recap I wanted to do for the San Diego Comic-Con Alien Romulus panel. I'm very, very jealous of all the people that got to go to this. It seems like a very fun time. Next year, maybe we'll have a panel for the Alien Earth television series, and maybe I'll make some videos about that. I haven't really dove into that one just yet, but I know quite a lot that people do not know, and maybe I'll share some of that here later in the future. One last thing I will mention about the Alien Romulus SDCC coverage is that there was a few press and media interviews with the cast and crew that I'm not going to cover here. There's a lot of information there, but if you'd like to watch those, I'll link all of them below. And also my buddies at the Perfect Organism podcast were there in attendance at the panel. They're doing a spoiler-free discussion video coming to their channel very soon. So make sure you check them out if you want to get some first-hand coverage from those awesome guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to follow my socials, they're all linked in the description below. I'm going to be doing a lot of Alien Romulus coverage, and I'm really hoping to get to the premiere. I'm working on that, but I don't have any promises or guarantees yet, but we'll see how that plays out. If I don't get to see the premiere, I'm going to see the movie on August 16th, and I will have my review out probably the 17th, or maybe just a little bit earlier if I can. I can do a review of the film right now, but I want to give the movie a fair review to the finished version of it. I'm not going to tell you if I liked it or disliked it, not thumbs up or thumbs down. People have been really, really pushing in my DMs for that and comment sections, but I am not going to give you any answers for that. That is for you to find out when you watch the movie and when I have a review out of a final version of the film. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Alien Romulus with all of you in the theaters, and like I said, there is going to be some crowd-pleasing moments that I cannot wait to experience with everybody else in the theater. I caught myself getting pretty excited at some very specific moments that I cannot wait to experience again. Thank you so much for watching this short video from me here at Mike's Monsters. I really appreciate having you here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!